Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yatha Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahaganaraganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivishikam Vitamscha Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnanachana Shilakaya Chakshurunnitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gorva Bhishtam Supurakam Gurganarasisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipunam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govindabhidam Ujjwalam Bharatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Bande Vishwagurun Shah Divyat Bhagavat Prem Noe Bija Pradam Devam Divyatanum Suchanda Varanam Balarka Chelanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sadeka Varanam Vairagya Vidyam Buddhim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Banditam Shubharam Mareka Sharanam Nyashishvara Shridaram Mancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gora Tavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, with translation and commentary by Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. This is the Madhya-lila, chapter 25. This is text number 101. Okay. Atmavashamidam vishvam yatkinchid jagatyam jagat tena chaktena bhunjita magrida kashasvidanam. So this is the residents of Varanasi become Vaishnavas. Here Mahaprabhu is quoting, no, pardon me. Who is speaking now? This is yes, this is Mahaprabhu speaking, and Prakashananda Saraswati, who was converted, who had previously, he was the leader of the Mayavadi sannyasis, he asked for the proper explanation of the Vedanta Sutra, and Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showing evidence that the Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. So this is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Everything animate or inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things for himself that are set aside as his quota, and one should not accept other things knowing well to whom they belong. Bhagavatara Sambandha Abhideya Prayojan Chatu Shlokite Prakatatara Koriyat Lakan. The essence of Srimad Bhagavatam, our relationship with the Supreme Lord, our activities in that connection, and the goal of life is manifest in the 4 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam known as the Chatu Shloki. Everything is explained in those verses. So Mahaprabhu is saying that everything about Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana, which is the essence of all Vedic literature to present this, the relationship with the Lord, the process of devotional service, or the means of serving or satisfying the Lord in that relationship, and the goal of life, which is prema prayojana, love of Godhead. These activities are always shown in the 4 verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam known as the Chatu Shloki. Everything is explained in those verses, and those verses are spoken by Krishna to Lord Brahma. We always say that we are from the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, and in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam it is said, Tane Brahma Rida Ya Adikavaye Muyanti Yat Surya, that Mahaprabhu spoke to Lord Brahma and imparted within his heart a full understanding of what is devotion, what is the goal of life, what is a relationship with the Lord. So, Ami Sambandha Tattva Amara Jnana Vigyan Amapaite Sadhana Bhakti Abhideyanam. Lord Krishna says, I am the center of all relationships. So I am the essence of Sambandha Gyan. Lord Krishna says, I am the center of all relationships. Knowledge of me and the practical application of that knowledge is actual knowledge. Approaching me for devotional service is called Abhideya. Spiritual knowledge means fully understanding the absolute truth in three features: impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and the all-powerful Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ultimately, when one takes shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and engages in the Lord's service, the resultant knowledge is called Vigyan, special knowledge or the practical application of spiritual knowledge. One should be engaged in the Lord's devotional service to achieve the aim of life called prayojana. The practice of devotional service to attain that goal of life is called abhideya. So this is sadhanara phala prema mula prayojan se preme pai jiva amara sevan. By rendering devotional service, one gradually rises to the platform of love of Godhead. That is the chief goal of life. On the platform of love of Godhead, one is eternally engaged in the service of the Lord. So in the previous 4 chapters, Mahaprabhu, we heard how he's speaking with Sanatan Goswami, and he explains to Sanatan Goswami in detail these subjects of Sambandha Abhideya Prayojana. And then after that, in the 4th chapter, Mahaprabhu speaks to Sanatan Goswami, gives the explanation of the Atmarama verse, which he previously spoke to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Gave 18 different meanings of the Atmarama verse when he spoke with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. But to Sanatan Goswami, who asked to hear Mahaprabhu's commentary on the Atmarama verse, Mahaprabhu gave 61 different meanings. Now, this chapter, the residents of Varanasi become Vaishnavas. We heard in the 7th chapter of the Adi-lila of how, in that chapter of the Panchatattva, how all the Mayavadi sannyasis were converted by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he returned from Vrindaban, first he went to Prayag, then he went to Varanasi, and there he met with Sanatan Goswami, and at that time Mahaprabhu converted all the Mayavadi sannyasis. They heard from him, and they now rejected the teachings of Shankar Acharya, and they became Vaishnavas. And this chapter is principally showing what their activities were after because in the 7th chapter of Adi-lila, they were convinced by Mahaprabhu. Now this chapter at the end, last chapter of the Madhya-lila, there's Krishnadas Kaviraj is showing what is the new mentality and the devotion of those Mayavadi sannyasis. So first we heard that the main disciple of Prakashananda Saraswati, he talked that the conclusions of Shankar Acharya are incorrect, and Shankar Acharya found fault with Vedavyas, saying that he could not understand how the Lord uses multiple energies, and how Shankar Acharya indicated that Vedavyas was mistaken, and then that disciple of Prakashananda Saraswati talked about how Shankar Acharya, they could not accept his conclusions, and how they found Mahaprabhu's teachings to be very perfect and satisfying to their heart. And then after that, Prakashananda came and he took shelter of Mahaprabhu and begged for his forgiveness and touched his lotus feet. And Mahaprabhu said, "You are Jagat Guru, you shouldn't be, I'm not even fit to become the disciple of your disciple, and you shouldn't be showing this example." And Prakashananda Saraswati said, "No, I have to do this because you are the Supreme Lord, and I was an offender to your lotus feet." Now, after that, he asked to Mahaprabhu, "You please give me the proper understanding of the Vedanta Sutra. I would like to hear from you." So that's what Mahaprabhu is speaking, and he's saying that the natural commentary is the Srimad Bhagavatam, and the essence of the Srimad Bhagavatam is the Chatushloki of the second canto, where the Lord is instructing Brahma, and how in those verses one finds Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana, and that's expanded throughout the Srimad Bhagavatam, and then that will give the proper understanding of the Vedanta Sutra. So, Jnanam paramaguyam me yad vijnana samanvitam saurahasyam tadangam cha grihana gaditam maya. Please hear attentively what I shall speak to you, for transcendental knowledge about me is not only scientific but full of mysteries. So this is, we can say, this is from that second canto, and it's leading up to the Chatushloki. So the Lord says, "Please hear attentively what I shall speak to you, for transcendental knowledge about me is not only scientific but full of mysteries. 18 tatvami kohinu tomare jivatumi 18 narive janibare. O Brahma, I shall explain all these truths to you. Since you are a living being, Jiva, without my explanation, you will not be able to understand your relationship with me, devotional activity, and life's ultimate goal." So, this, of course, is the Bengali commentary of what we just heard, where Krishna says to Lord Brahma, "Please hear attentively what I shall speak to you, for transcendental knowledge about me is not only scientific but full of mysteries. And, O Brahma, I shall explain all these truths to you. Since you are a living being, Jiva, without my explanation, you will not be able to understand your relationship with me, devotional activity, and life's ultimate goal." Jai Chi Amar Swarup, Jai Chi Amar Stiti, Jai Chi Amar Guna, Karma Shad Aishwarya Shakti. I shall explain to you my actual form and situation, my attributes, activities, and 6 opulences. Amara Kripai Esab Svuraka Tomare Etabole Tin Tatwa Kohila Tahare. Lord Krishna assured Lord Brahma, by my mercy all these things will be awakened in you. Saying this, the Lord began to explain the 3 truths, tattvas, to Lord Brahma. And the 3 truths, of course, are Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. Yavanaham yata bhavo yadrupa guna karmaka tathaiva tattva vijnanam astu te mad anugrahad. By my causeless mercy, be enlightened in truth about my personality, manifestations, qualities, and pastimes. So this is also from the Srimad Bhagavatam. By my causeless mercy, be enlightened in truth about my personality, manifestations, qualities, and pastimes. Mahaprabhu speaking, of course, in the same context, to Lord Brahma. Shristir Purve Shadaishvarya Purnami Tahoye Prapancha Prakriti Purusha Amate Loye. Before the creation of the cosmic manifestation, the Lord said, I existed, and the total material energy, material nature, and the living entities all existed in me. Shristi Kori Taramadye Ame Praveshiye Prapancha Je Deka Sab Ame Hoye. After creating the cosmic manifestation, I entered into it. Whatever you see in the cosmic manifestation is but an expansion of my energy. Pralaye avashishta ami purnahoye prakrite prapanchapai amate loye. When the whole universe dissolves, I remain full in myself, and everything that was manifested is again preserved in me. So this is now explaining what the first verse of the Chatushloki is about. And this is in, we can say the Bengali, that Mahaprabhu is about to quote the first verse of the Chatushloki, but here this is the Bengali introduction to that. Before the creation of the cosmic manifestation, the Lord said, I existed, and the total material energy, material nature, and the living entities all exist in me. After creating the cosmic manifestation, I entered into it. Whatever you see in the cosmic manifestation is but an expansion of my energy. When the whole universe dissolves, I remain full in myself, and everything that was manifested is again preserved in me. So this is Mahaprabhu is explaining what the first verse of the Chatushloki says when he explains that the Lord existed before the creation, during the creation, and after the annihilation. And now Mahaprabhu cites that first verse of the Chatushloki. He's explaining, presenting everything to Prakashananda Saraswati, the Mayavadi leader of the sannyasis. Aham evasam evagre nanyad yat sadasat param paschadaham yadetascha yo vasishyeta somsmiyaham. Prior to the cosmic manifestation, only I exist and no phenomena exist, either gross, subtle, or primordial. After creation, only I exist in everything. And after annihilation, only I remain externally. This is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam. It is the first verse of the Chatushloki. Aham evasam evagre nanyad yat sarasat param paschadaham yad etatscha yo visishyeta somsmiyaham. Prior to the cosmic manifestation, only I exist and no phenomena exist, either gross, subtle, or primordial. After creation, only I exist in everything. And after annihilation, only I remain eternally. So, previously we heard how Shankar Acharya, he could not accept the principle of the transformation of energy. He cannot accept that. He's thinking that Brahman is immutable. And if there is any variety showed, that would be some mutation of Brahman, which he says is unacceptable. So he thinks that that is typical of the Mayavadis. They can't accept spiritual variety, basically. So the principle that here, the very beginning of the Chatushloki is saying that actually everything is my energy, and before the creation, only I exist. During the creation, when you see the whole manifestation, I still am only existent. It's all my energy. and after annihilation, still I exist. So then, aham eva shloke aham 10 bar, Purnaishvarya Shri Vigraha Stira Nirdar. In the verse beginning aham eva, the word aham is expressed 3 times. In the beginning, there are the words aham eva. In the second line, there are the words paschad aham. And at the end are the words sosmi aham. Sosmi aham. This aham indicates the Supreme Person. By the repetition of aham, the transcendental personality who is complete with 6 opulences is confirmed. So, aham means person. Aham eva asam eva gre nanyad yat sarasat param paschad aham yadetascha yo vasishyeta somsmi aham. So aham is repeated 3 times. By the repetition of aham, the transcendental personality who is complete with 6 opulences is confirmed. Ye vigraha nahimane nira karamane tare nira sar niraskaribare korila nirdana nirdarane ye vigraha nahimane nirakarmane tare niraskaribare korila nirdarane. Impersonalists do not accept the personal feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is stressed in this verse the personality of Godhead is stressed in this verse in order to impress upon them the necessity of accepting Him. Therefore, the word aham is mentioned 3 times. To stress something important, one repeats it 3 times. So impersonalists do not accept the personal feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The personality of Godhead is stressed in this verse in order to impress upon them the necessity of accepting Him. Therefore, the word aham is mentioned 3 times to stress something important. One repeats it 3 times. Esab shamp shabde hoy jnana vigyana vivek maya karya maya hoite ami vyatirek. Lord Krishna continued, actual spiritual knowledge and its practical application are considered in all 3 sound vibrations. Although the external energy comes from me, I am different from it. So, actual spiritual knowledge and its practical application are considered in all these sound vibrations. Although the external energy comes from me, I am different from it. Jaichi Suryarastani Bashaye Amash Suryabina Swatantra Tarana Hoy Prakash. Sometimes a reflection of the sun is experienced in place of the sun, but its illumination is never possible independent of the sun because it's a reflection. Depends on the sun in order to show that reflection. Mayatita hoy le hoy amaran anubhav e sambandha tattva kohilun shuna arasab. When one is transcendentally situated, one can perceive me. This perception is the basis of one's relationship with the Supreme Lord. Now let me further explain this subject matter. Real spiritual knowledge has to be received from revealed scriptures. After this knowledge is attained, one can begin to perceive one's actual spiritual life. Any knowledge achieved by speculation is imperfect. One must receive knowledge from the parampara system and from the guru. Otherwise, one will be bewildered and will ultimately become an impersonalist. When one very scrutinizingly deliberates, one can realize the personal feature of the Absolute Truth. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is always transcendental to this material creation. Narayana paro vyaktat. Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is always transcendental. He is not a creation of the material world. Without realizing spiritual knowledge, one cannot understand that the transcendental form of the Lord is always beyond the creative energy. The example of the sun and the sunshine is given. The sunshine is not the sun, but still the sunshine is not separate from the sun. The philosophy of achintya beta beta tattva, simultaneously one and different, cannot be understood by one who is fully under the influence of the external energy. Consequently, a person under the influence of the material energy cannot understand the nature and form of the personality of the Absolute Truth. Ritertam yat pratiyeta, ritertam yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani tadvidyad atmanomayam yata baso yata tama. Ritertam yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani tadvidyad atmanomayam yata baso yata tama. What appears to be truth without me is certainly my illusory energy, for nothing can exist without me. It is like a reflection of a real light in the shadows, for in the light there are neither shadows nor reflections. What appears to be truth without me is certainly my illusory energy, for nothing can exist without me. It is like a reflection of a real light in the shadows, for in the light there are neither shadows nor restrictions. This is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam. It is the second verse of the Chatushloki. So here we find what appears to be truth without me is certainly my illusory energy, for nothing can exist without me. It is like a reflection of a real light in the shadows, for in the light there are neither shadows nor reflections. So we heard before the explanation, the Bengali saying, well, when you see a reflection, that also cannot exist independently of the original light source. If you see a reflection of the sun, it can't exist without the sun. So in here, the Lord is saying, what you perceive is to be a truth without me is not actually a truth. It's, we have so many things that apparently are truths, which we say are axioms. Like the sun always rises in the east. That's for this world, as far as the world that we know it, as far as this level of reality. There may be another reality in another place, in another time, where the sun doesn't rise in the east. There may be no sun at all. So obviously what we say is axiomatic or supposedly truth, here Krishna is saying, this second verse of the Chatushloki, what appears to be truth without me is certainly my illusory energy, for nothing can exist without me. So we think so many things are the truth, but without reference to the Lord, they are actually just so-called relative truths. They may not be true at all. And we may think that they are so irrefutable truth. But there may be a situation where those truths break down, where logic has no force. So Krishna is here saying, this is the second verse of Chatushloki, what appears to be truth without me is certainly my illusory energy, for nothing can exist without me. It is like a reflection of a real light in the shadows, for in the light there are neither shadows nor reflections. So that's that real light. We may see it reflected in the shadows. But when you talk about the actual focus of that light, within that light there are no shadows and there are no reflections. So everything is relative. So relative truths. Avideya sadhana bhaktir shunaha vichar sarvajan deshakala dashate vyapijar. Now please hear from me about the process of devotional service, which is applicable in any country, for any person, at all times and in all circumstances. So we heard previously, Mahaprabhu is saying, Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana, these three elements are the essence of all Vedic scriptures: relationship with the Lord, bhakti yoga, or the service of that relationship, and ultimately prayojan, the goal. And then Mahaprabhu says, and in the chat, to Prakashananda Saraswati, who wants to know what is a real commentary, because he's convinced by Mahaprabhu. Now he says, please illuminate me, please explain to me the real essence of the Vedanta Sutra. And Mahaprabhu says, yes, the real essence is contained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And in particular, the Srimad Bhagavatam is all expanded from the Chatushloki. And in them, in those 4 verses of the 2nd canto where Lord Krishna speaks to Brahma, there you'll find Sambandha, Abhideyam, Prayojana, and the full explanation of all Vedic literature. So, Abhideya, Sadhana, Bhakti, Shunaha, Bichar, Sarvajan, Deshakala, Dashate, Vyaptijar. Now please hear from me about the process of devotional service, which is applicable in any country, for any person, at all times, in all circumstances. Dharmari Vishaye Jaiche Echari Vichar, Sadhana Bhakti Echari Vicharerapar. As far as religious principles are concerned, there is a consideration of the person, the country, the time, and the circumstances. In devotional service, however, there are no such considerations. Devotional service is transcendental to all such considerations. So this is normal religion will have that limitation of time, place, and circumstance. And we'll see that the teachings of those religions are directed generally at a particular audience, under particular circumstances and particular time. So, therefore you find certain teachings given, like thou shalt not kill, teaching, but that obviously, that teaching was considered necessary to the audience which is spoken to keep some decorum in society or within the religious society. You know, like don't turn against your own brother or something like that. But these are things meant for a particular mentality among the people, particular circumstance. As far as religious principles are concerned, there is a consideration of the person, the country, the time, and the circumstance. In devotional service, however, there are no such considerations. Devotional service is transcendental to all such considerations, because devotional service involves the actual innate constitutional position of the soul. And the soul, Jiva Swarupa Krishna Nityadas, is the eternal servant of the Lord. So in any particular place, in any particular circumstance, in any particular time, the soul will always be the servant of the Lord, knowingly or unknowingly, but still, devotional service is not limited by time, place, and circumstance, because in any circumstance, in any time or any place, one has to understand one's relationship as an eternal servant of the Lord. So, and some people are satisfying that according to their particular religious preference. They're trying to, in some way, serve the Lord. Whether that will be complete or incomplete, well, that may depend on the individuals. There may be saints in any different process who understand something of the intrinsic value of devotional service, and they may speak to the people, and they may themselves be subject to the limitations of time, place, and circumstance, but still, the essence will always be devotion. Sarvadesha kala dashai janera kartavya Guru Pashe Se Bhakti Prastavya Shrotavya. It is therefore the duty of every man in every country, in every circumstance, and at all times to approach a bona fide spiritual master, question him about devotional service, and listen to him explain the process. Etavadeva jigyasham tattva jigyasunatmana Anvaya Vyatirekabhyam Yat Shat Sarvatra Sarvada. A person interested in transcendental knowledge must therefore always directly and indirectly inquire about it to know about the all-pervading truth. This is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam. It is the 4th verse of the Chatushloki. So first we heard previously the 1st verse of the Chatushloki, the 2nd verse of the Chatushloki, and now it skips to the 4th verse of the Chatushloki, and then the 3rd verse will be explained. But Mahaprabhu is explaining things according to, he's explaining these progressively. Etavadeva jigyashyam tattva jigyasunatmana anvaya vyatirekabhyam yatshat sarvatra sarvada. A person interested in transcendental knowledge must therefore always directly and indirectly inquire about it to know about the all-pervading truth. Amate ye priti se prema prayojan karya dware kohetara swarupa lakan. Supreme affection for me is called love of Godhead, prema, and that is the ultimate goal of life. Let me explain by a practical example the natural characteristics of such love. Panchabhuta jaiche bhutera bitare bahire bhaktagane svuryami bahire antare. The 5 material elements are existing inside and outside of every living entity. Similarly, I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, am manifest within the heart of the devotees as well as outside his body. Pardon me. The 5 material elements are existing inside and outside of every living being. Similarly, I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, am manifest within the heart of the devotee as well as outside his body. Yata mahante bhutani bhuteshu chavacheshvanu pravishtani apravishtani tatateshu nateshvaham. As the material elements enter the bodies of all living beings and yet remain outside them all, I exist within all material creations and yet am not within them. As the material elements enter the bodies of all living beings and yet remain outside them all, I exist within all material creations and yet am not within them. So Krishna's energy is everywhere. It's in all materials creation, but still Krishna as a person, or as we will say, the Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, he still has his own individual abodes, his own individual existence, and his own activities. The direct refutation, of course, of impersonalism. As the material elements enter the body of all living beings and yet remain outside them all, I exist within all material creations and yet am not within them. Yata mahanti bhutani bhuteshu cha vacheshvanu pravishtani apravishtani tatateshu nateshvaham. As the material elements enter the bodies of all living beings and yet remain outside them, I exist within all material creations and yet am not within them. This is a quotation from the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is also the 3rd verse of the Chatushloki. So we heard first verse, and the 2nd verse, and the 4th verse, and now the 3rd verse. These are the 4 verses of the Chatushloki. Bhaktama premi bandi jaiche ridoya bitare jahannetra paritahan dekaye amare. A highly elevated devotee can bind me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in his heart by love. Wherever he looks, he sees me and nothing more. So when Mahaprabhu was talking with Ramananda Roy spoke that glorifying Mahaprabhu, and he said, I can see who you really are. I see first before me a sannyasi, and then I'm seeing Krishna with his flute, and then I'm seeing, and he says, then I see that you have taken this form like a golden doll. He refers to him as a golden doll, and you've taken the characters. So then Mahaprabhu says, oh, you see like that because you're such an advanced devotee that you see the Supreme Lord everywhere. Just like it said. Here, a highly elevated devotee can bind me, the Supreme Personality of God, in his heart by love. Wherever he looks, he sees me and nothing more. Of course, that's Mahaprabhu. First saying, it's because of you that you see me this way, because you're an advanced devotee. You see the Lord everywhere. And Ramananda Roy, of course, said, no, I understand. And then Mahaprabhu reveals himself. Vishri jati hridayam na yashya sakshad darir avasa bitopi agogamnasha pranaya rasanaya dritangri bhadma sabhavati bhagavata pradana upta. Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who destroys everything inauspicious for his devotees, does not leave the hearts of his devotees even if they remember him and chant about him inattentively. This is because the rope of love always binds the Lord within the devotees' hearts. Such devotees should be accepted as most elevated. Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who destroys everything inauspicious for his devotees, does not leave the hearts of his devotees even if they remember him and chant about him inattentively. Sarvabhuteshu ya pashyad bhagavad bhavamatmana bhutani bhagavati atmani esha Bhagavatotama. A person advanced in devotional service sees within everything the soul of souls, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Consequently, he always sees the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the cause of all causes and understands that all things are situated in him. Gayanto charamum eva samhata vichikyur unmataka vad vanadvanam paprachur akashavad antaram bahir bhuteshu santam purusham vanaspatin. As the gopis assembled to chant the transcendental qualities of Krishna very loudly, and they began to wander from one forest to another like mad women, all the gopis assembled to chant the transcendental qualities of Krishna very loudly, and they began to wander from one forest to another like mad women. They began to inquire about the Lord, who is situated in all living entities, internally and externally. Indeed, they even asked all the plants and vegetables about him, the Supreme Person. Ateva Bhagavate 18 Kai Sambandha Videya Prayojanamoy. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, thus one's relationship with the Lord, activities in devotional service, and the attainment of the highest goal of life, love of Godhead, are the subject matters of Srimad Bhagavatam. Sambandha Abhideya and Prayojana. Vedanti tat tatva vidas tatvam yadsganamadvayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabhyate. Absolute truth is known by the self-realized souls as a unified identity known by different names: impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhagavan ek asedam agra atmatmanam vibhu atmecha nugate atma anana mati upalakshana. Before the cosmic manifestation was created, the creative propensity was merged in the Supreme Lord's person. At that time, all potencies and manifestations were preserved in his personality. The Lord is the cause of all causes, and he is the all-pervading, self-sufficient person. Before the creation, he existed with his spiritual potency in the spiritual world, wherein various Vaikuntha planets are manifested. Etacham sakala pumsa krishnastu bhagavan swayam indrari vyakalam loke mridayanti yuge yuge. All these incarnations of Godhead are either plenary portions or parts of the plenary portions of the Purusha avatars. But Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead himself. In every age, he protects the world through his different features when the world is disturbed by the enemies of Indra. Aita sambandha shunabideya bhakti bhagavate pratishloke vyape jarastiti. This is one's eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of God. And now please hear about the execution of devotional service. This principle pervades each and every verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhaktyaham mekaya graya shradayatma priya satam bhakti punati manishta svapakan api sambhavat. Lord Krishna said, being very dear to the devotees and sadhus, I am attained through unflinching faith and devotional service. This bhakti yoga system, which gradually increases attachment for me, purifies even a human being born among dog eaters. That is to say, everyone can be elevated to the spiritual platform by the process of bhakti yoga. So Mahaprabhu is expanding upon what was the truths given in the Chatushloki, explaining now to Prakashananda Saraswati, Sambandha and Abhideya and Prayojana. Na sariyati mam yogo, na shankyam dharma udava, na shradayas, na sariyati mam yogo, na shankyam dharma udava, na swadhyayas tapastyago yata bhaktir mamorjita. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna said, my dear Uddhava, neither through Astanga Yoga, the mystic yoga system to control the senses, nor through impersonal monism or an analytical study of the absolute truth, nor through study of the Vedas, nor through austerities, charity, or acceptance of sannyas can one satisfy me as much as by developing unalloyed devotional service unto me. Okay. So I'm going to stop here, and tomorrow we'll continue. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Haraya Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Jaravaya Maravaya Keshavaya Nama Jaravaya Maravaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinatha Maranamohan Giridhari Gopinatha Maranamohan Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Dharanara Shiva Sadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Dharanara Shiva Sadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Sai Rupa Sanatam Bhakta Raghunath Sai Rupa Sanatam Bhakta Raghunath Sri Jiva Gopala Bhata Dasa Raghunath Sri Jiva Gopala Bhata Dasa Raghunath H.I. Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Nishai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Jaoite Vignana Shamista Puran Jaoite Vignana Shamista Puran Nishai Gosai Jar Mui Taranas Jai Gosai Jar Mui Taranas Tasavar Padarinu Mora Panchagras Tasavar Padarinu Mora Panchagras Sadir Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanibas Sadir Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanibas Janame More Amilas Janame Janame More Amilas Echai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilabas Echai Gosai Jabe Koilabas Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindaban Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindaban Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyan Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naratamuna Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Naratamuna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gora Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nitai Gora Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nitai Gora Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Nitai Gora Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Hari Bo Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhari Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravaja Acharya Statara Sadashi Shrimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravaja Acharya Ashtatara Sadashi Shrimad Srila Bhakti Rakshira Dev Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Sanatan Saraswati Gosai Thakur Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnavas Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai, Rupanuga Guru Varga ki jai, Namachari Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhakta Raghunath, Shri Jiva Gopal Bhadadash Raghunath, Shad Goswami Prabhu ki jai, Premzigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Vrindaban Das Thakur ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai, Narottam Srinivas Shyamananda Prabhu ki jai, Jayam Vishnupad Vishwavaranya, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai, Jayam Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj ki jai, Sri Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Shri Navadip Dham ki jai, Shri Dham Mayapur ki jai, Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Saparshada Shri Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Koladvip ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Madhacharya Vrinda ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram in Soquel ki jai, Ganga Devi ki jai, Tulasi Maharani ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Shri Vrindaban Dham ki jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan, Sham Kuna Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Jo ki jai, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, all the assembled devotees ki jai, Sripad Bhakti Sharanga Goswami Maharaj Avirbhav Mahotsav ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo.
Maharaj ki jai.